Today, we're talking about sex. Yo, what is up guys, it's Sambis and this channel aimed to inspire and entertain you. Now as you saw from the title, today we are answering the question, how far is too far in dating? Okay, so I imagine this is a very popular question, and we had this question ourselves when we just started dating, and it's this thing of like, how far is like going too far. So maybe it's also important just to preface this video in saying we are Christian, so that is gonna like greatly influence our view. We're not wanting to like force our opinions down on you. We just want to give our perspective, and maybe that can help someone out there. So I think firstly, maybe there is just a problem in asking that question. Like there's a problem with the question in itself, right? Because I think it sort of implies that you're willing to push like right up until the boundary, or maybe just push the boundary a bit in order to see like how far, what can I get away with, sort of. And that's not what we want.
Every person or every couple must set their own boundaries. Like, you know what you're okay with and what you think is right or wrong.
Yeah.
For us it will be different. So if you think kissing before marriage is fine, then you know you can do it. And if you set a boundary that says, okay, no, we're not gonna kiss, we're just gonna be hugging and holding hands, then that's you. But maybe it's different for a different couple. Right. Or so just compares. It differs to each person and each couple.
Yeah. So I also think that you can't expect other people to uphold your standards and to share your same standards. Your same standards. I know like sex before marriage isn't a big thing amongst many people. For Brits and myself, it's sort of something that we try to hold to. Because of our Christian beliefs, right? Moving on to that question, it's maybe also important to realize that, or the way that we think about it is that when you're not getting married, right? When you're not standing in that promise of staying with one another in better, or for better, for worse, or you know, in sickness and in health, blah, 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 blah. When you're not standing in that promise with one another, there's no real covenant or promise holding you together. So technically you could just say I'm done and walk away, right? And so when you sort of cross the boundaries, or when you sort of sleep with your significant other, it sort of makes things a bit more complicated, right? Because now all of a sudden
you feel connected.
We make that emotional connection, we make that deeper connection with one another.
And then it's hard to leave. It
might be hard to leave, but also there's nothing, it's sort of like a thing of like, I make this connection knowing that I might need to break that at some point, you know? So that just makes it like so much harder, and it makes it so much, it causes so much more grief and sadness when or if you do decide to call it quits, you know. Also what Brett said, you know, it makes it harder, like maybe you should leave, or maybe, you know,
but then you're too scared to hurt that person, because now you've connected, so you feel, okay, I really want to leave because I'm not happy,
I need to leave,
but you have made a connection with this person, and now you're just like, okay, but I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. Or
it makes it a bit more complicated, right?
Yeah, very complicated.
It has to do with the whole purpose of dating. So for us, I think dating is a way to get to know a person, right? To see if this person is compatible with me, if this is the right person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So the reality is that it might take a few like people, for you to date a few people to find that right person. And so if you don't have that freedom when you're dating, it places a lot of stress on your relationship, because now you feel like this needs to be that one person. And I'm going to be honest, we made that mistake. You know, we sort of didn't see dating as that, like, you know, trying to find the right person. Not that you're not the right person, but I think it's placed a lot of stress and unnecessary stress on our relationship in the very early stages, you know, like you feel like, okay, so I made this commitment now, this promise,
to this person,
and I can't really leave, I can't get out of it.
But not that you want to get out of it.
Yeah, but
it's just
you're getting stressed there.
I am.
No. What I'm saying is, it might be difficult because let's say you discover like some character defects in this person, like that are really clashing with your beliefs or whatever. And then you need to be able to get out of that relationship.
Yeah.
But because you've crossed these boundaries, because you've made these deeper connections, it might be more difficult. That's what we're saying. We spoke with one of our, mentors. I don't know.
Yeah, you can call
what
them
you
a
would call
mentor.
it. But we had the same conversation with him, and some valuable insights were given on that day. And so it helps to sort of think of this as like a biological connection that you're making, like how we were designed as human beings, right? So it's deeper than just like a physical attraction. So when you come into a relationship with someone, you're sort of expected to grow together, but with a certain limit. So if you think of it sort of in like 3 phases, like body, soul, and let's just say body and soul, right? So to come together with like with the soul thing, like you get to know one another, you get to grow like deeper in like your emotional connection, right? And so with the body, obviously that includes like intimacy and like having sex or what. So in the normal relationship or whatever, the normal way I see things happening is like you grow together emotionally, and once you've made that commitment, once you step into that marriage covenant, then you can grow together as body and like in both of those senses, right? What now happens is that there's like sort of this tension within the dating phase, that like you're sort of expected to grow together emotionally, but you can't grow together like physically. So there's like the sort of tension that you need to manage, because it's like a natural thing that you want to grow together in both like in your like emotionally and physically, but you sort of need to like hold back on that. So there's sort of this tension that goes on. But if you do decide, to grow together physically and emotionally, there's sort of a few implications that come with it. And this is now where our Christian like perspective comes in. So we believe that God designed sex for marriage.
It's to
to bring them together, like the Bible
one.
says, to make them one in like flesh, one flesh. And obviously there are a few like expectations of the man, to sort of, he's like the leader of the house, or he's, in a sense he has to be the protector, what. But now there's this sort of tension, because the girl is still, staying with her parents, or she's still like trying to be independent in a sense. And you sort of want to take this role, and it's sort of a subconscious thing. But there's this sort of expectation that is placed on the guy there to be the protector and to be the leader, when that's not really his place at that time, right? Because you're not standing in a marriage yet, so that's not your role to take up at that stage for the guy now. And that's just that's basically the gist of it. That's our viewpoint. But like Britt said, I think every couple should have their own boundaries.
Yeah, and stick with it. Even if it gets hard. I mean, it does get hard.
So our encouragement to you is to really think about these things. If you have a partner, sit down with them, discuss these things. If you don't have boundaries yet, then that's something that is essential. You really need to set those boundaries. Say, how far are we going to go? How far are we willing to go? What do we believe in? And then to stick to those things, right? To be a man of your word. And if you're not in a relationship, it's a good time to already now discuss, or to start thinking about these things. To say like, if I do go into a relationship right now, where would I draw the line?
Yeah.
And to sort of stick with that as well.
To not let that down when you go into a relationship, let that fall behind. Because that's what you've decided on, and that's what you've said, okay, this is as far as how I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And if that person comes in and says, oh, but I'm willing to go a little bit further, then you're just like, So don't let it, I don't know how.
Don't let yourself be, because it's easy to like get caught up in the emotions of it, right?
Yes.
I think especially for the girls and for the ladies. it's easy to get carried away like
'Cause you
emotionally,
like this.
and it's like just but let's just throw that away, you know.
Yeah.
And for the guy as well, you know. But to really stand on what you believe, and don't be shaken just because this person that you like or that you see yourself with, you know, as other standards. So that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I hope you found it informative.
Yes.
Comment down below what you think is the answer to this question, like how far is too far in a relationship. Let us know your viewpoint down in the comments, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place.